Students, up till now we were dealing with free vibrations, that is damped and undamped free vibrations. So free vibrations means there is no any external force applied on the mass. We just have to give the initial displacement to the system and the system vibrates with its own natural frequency. But in practical applications that is not the case. Generally the machine vibrates by some external loading such as motor. So motor gives the external force by which the machine vibrates. Okay, so machine with motor is an example of force vibration. Similarly, a vehicle which is moving on a road and there are road irregularities, and because of the road irregularities the force is transmitted to the vehicle. That is also a case of force vibrations. So force vibrations are practically very popular. Okay, you can relate the number of experiments, number of applications of force vibrations in your day-to-day life basis. For example, your washing machine is vibrating, so that is a case of force vibration. So you will find number of examples of force vibrations. So from today we are starting a topic of force vibration, and directly we move on to the damped force vibration. So we are not dealing with undamped force vibration, we are directly move on to the damped force vibrations. Now before moving on to the damped force vibrations, first we try to understand what kind of force that we are applying on the vibrating system. So if you see the type of forces, then number one is harmonic force. So harmonic force means the force whose amplitude, so this is force and this is time. So the amplitude of the force varies harmonically. Okay, so there is this is F0 sine omega t. Okay, where F0 is the maximum displacement, omega is, this is time period, so omega is 1 upon t into 2 pi. So 2 pi upon t is the frequency with which the force is applied. Okay, so this is called harmonic force. Okay, it is a periodic force and it is sinusoidal. Okay, then second type is periodic force. So periodic force means this is amplitude, force amplitude, this is time, and so the force repeats after certain interval of time. Okay, so this is called periodic force. And third one is impulse force. So this impulse force is non-periodic. So in the first two cases we have seen that the nature of the force repeats after a certain interval of time, so that is called a periodic force. So both these are periodic force. But in impulse force, the amplitude of the force is increased for very short duration of time. So that is called an impulse force. For example, if you are going on a smooth road and suddenly a bump comes, and after that again there is a smooth road, so that is an impulse force. So impulse force lasted for very small amount of time. Okay, so that force is called impulse force. And fourth one is random force. Random force. So random force, it doesn't follow any routine. So random force are random. There is no periodicity in its nature. The example of random force is the earthquake. So earthquake, the intensity of the earthquake varies randomly. Okay, so there is no a certain pattern or certain periodicity in the nature. So that is why it is called as random force. As far as your syllabus is concerned, we mostly deal with the harmonic force. Okay. So we were dealing with harmonic force, and it is given by F0 sin omega t, or it is also given by F0 cos omega t. So if the force is starting like this, so this is F0 cos omega t. It's at 0, its amplitude is 1. So in sine, if sine 0 is 0 and cos 0 is 1, okay, so this is the harmonic force, F0 sin omega t or F0 cos omega t. So we will be dealing with this harmonic force in our discussion. Okay. Now we will do the analysis of damped force vibration. Now we know that the vibration analysis process. First we make a vibration model of the system. Then we see its free body diagram. Then we write down the equation of motion by applying Newton's second law of motion. Then we find the response of the system. We find the solution of the equation by finding the response of the system, and then we analyze the system for various conditions. So that is the vibration analysis process. The same process we follow for the damped force vibration case as well. So we start with the vibration model. So this is a mass attached with the help of spring having stiffness as small k and damping coefficient as small c, and the force is applied to this mass, that is F0 sin omega t. So a harmonic force is applied to this mass F0 sin omega t. Okay, and because of that this mass undergoes displacement by x or velocity x dot and acceleration x double dot. Okay, so a mass under the influence of harmonic force, mass is supported by a spring, mass is supported by a damper, and because of this mass undergoes a displacement by x or velocity x dot and acceleration x double dot. Now next we draw the free body diagram. So free body diagram. So this is mass, force F0 sin omega t. Then there are two forces which opposes the motion of this mass. One is the spring force, that is kx, and another one is damping force given by cx dot. Okay, so this is the free body diagram. These are the three forces which are acting on the mass. Now we apply the Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. which says that the mass into acceleration is equal to sum of all the forces acting on this mass. Okay, so mx double dot is equal to, now here the force is acting in the direction of acceleration, so that is why we take it as positive f0 sine omega t. But the spring force and the stiffness force and the damping force, they are acting opposite to the direction of acceleration, so that is why we take it as negative. So cx dot minus kx. Okay. Now if you bring these terms to the other side of equal to sign, then this becomes mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx is equal to f0 sine omega t, and this is the equation of motion for damped force vibration. So this is the equation of motion for damped force vibration. We have seen this equation, similar equation in case of damped free vibration as well, but in that case this side of equal to sign was 0. Okay. Here also if you put the value of f0 as 0, that means there is no force, so that is a case of free vibrations, damped free vibrations. Okay, but remember, this is the equation of motion for damped force vibration. Now if you find the solution of this equation of motion, so the solution of this equation of motion then the response of the system is given by, so the response of the system is given by x equal to, it is f upon under root c square omega square upon k square so c square omega square upon k square plus 1 minus omega square upon omega n square whole square. Okay, and this is cos omega t minus phi. Okay, now this is the response of the system, x equal to f upon k under root c square omega square upon k square plus 1 minus omega square upon omega n square whole square into cos omega t minus phi. Okay, so if you see this equation, if you see the response equation, then this is also harmonic in nature. This is also harmonic in nature. We know that harmonic function is given by x0. Here cos is there, cos omega t. Okay, so the harmonic nature will look something like this. So here this x0 is nothing but this one. Okay, and this cos omega t is cos omega t minus phi. Phi is the phase difference. So here, because when the force is applied to a mass, then mass will vibrate but not in phase with the applied force. So there is some phase lag because of the spring and because of the damper present. Because of this spring and damping element, the mass will vibrate by some phase lag. Okay, it doesn't vibrate with the same phase as that of the externally applied force. Okay, so this is a phase lag. So here this is harmonic in nature, and we know that the value of x will be maximum when this becomes 0. Okay, so when this because we know that cos 0 is 1, so when this term becomes 0, then this x becomes x max. So maximum acceleration x max is equal to, now we know that F upon k. So we know that force is equal to k into x, and x is equal to F upon k. So here this F upon k is a static deflection. So consider only a force is applied, a static force is applied, and because of that there is a deflection. So this is the static deflection. So k upon x is a static deflection. So we represented it as delta. Okay, and under root c square omega square upon k square plus 1 minus omega by omega n whole square. Okay, so this is the maximum amplitude. X max is the maximum amplitude, delta is static deflection, and x max is the maximum amplitude. Maximum amplitude of the mass. Okay, so now this x max, now we try to simplify the denominator part. So it is given by delta upon under root. Now c square, so we know that the damping ratio zeta is equal to c upon cc. So c is equal to zeta into cc, and zeta into cc we know that 2 under root km. Okay, so if you put the value of c as zeta 2 under root km, then and this is c square, so c square becomes zeta square into 4 into km. Okay, so c square is this one, so we put this value in place of c square, so this becomes zeta square 4 km upon k square into omega square plus 1 minus omega by omega n whole square. Now this k and this k will get cancelled, so here it will be zeta square into 4. Now this k we will shift to denominator, so this becomes k by m plus 1 minus omega by omega n whole square. So k by m we know that it is the natural frequency. So omega n is given by under root k by m. So k by m is omega n square. So it will be delta upon under root zeta square 4 omega square upon omega n square plus 1 minus omega by omega n square whole square. Now so this x max is given by, now here if we replace this omega by omega n as r, so r is a ratio of frequencies, so this omega is the excitation frequency, excitation force frequency, and omega n is the natural frequency of the system. So omega by omega n is given by, say, r. So this equation can be written as delta upon under root zeta square 4 r square plus 1 minus r square whole square. So we have replaced omega by omega n by r. So this equation will look something like this. Okay. So this is x max. So if you take this delta on this side, then this is 1 upon under root 2 zeta r whole square plus 1 minus r square whole square. Okay. So this is very important equation. So this equation is this factor x max. X max means the maximum amplitude and delta is the static deflection. Okay. So x max upon delta is given by magnification. This is called magnification factor. Magnification factor, or it is also called as dynamic magnifier. So this x max upon delta is magnification factor or dynamic magnifier. So this magnification factor is given by 1 upon under root 1 minus r square whole square plus 2 zeta r whole square. Okay. So this is the magnification factor, and this magnification factor is very, very important as far as the vibration isolation और वाइब्रेशन जैसे किसी मशीन का वाइब्रेशन को कंट्रोल करना है या मशीन के वाइब्रेशंस फ्लोर से दूसरे जगह ट्रांसफर नहीं करना है, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड वाइब्रेशन आइसोलेशन, विच विल बी अ टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन इन द कमिंग लेक्चर्स. सो दिस वाइब्रेशन आइसोलेशन की प्रॉब्लम में ये बहुत ज़्यादा यूज होता है. ओके, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड मैग्निफिकेशन फैक्टर. नाउ वी विल एनालाइज this equation. So if you draw a graph, so here it is magnification factor, that is x max upon delta. This is magnification factor, and this is r. R means omega by omega n. So omega by omega n, this is 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this magnification factor versus zeta is given by so this is for zeta equal to 0.1. This is for zeta is equal to 0.2. This is for zeta equal to 0.5. This is for zeta is equal to 0.7. So here from this graph we can see that when the value of zeta is less, then the magnification factor increases up to value of r is equal to 1. Now we know that value of r is equal to 1, that is omega is equal to omega n. That means it is a case of resonance. So the natural frequency of a system coincides with the external excitation frequency, so that is a case of resonance, and we know that in case of resonance the system vibrates with very high amplitude. So here you can see that you have got maximum amplitude or maximum magnification factor when the value of r approaches to 1. Okay, and as the value of zeta goes on increasing, the amplitude goes on decreasing, or you can say that the magnification factor is also goes on decreasing. But in every case you will get the peak at value of r equal to 1. Okay, and similarly all these curves they coincide here when value of r is equal to under root of 2, that is 1.41. Okay, so value of r coincides with, so here also you will get the value of magnification factor as 1 as well as at 0. Okay. And then the magnification factor below 1 after this point. Okay. So always maintain the value of r as more than 1.41. Okay, it should be more than 1.41, so that you will get the Xmax value as less than the static deflection. Okay, so I hope that you have understood the damped free vibrations, damped force vibration as well as the magnification factor. This formula is very, very important. We are going to use this formula for many times in the coming lecture. So you remember, you by heart this formula, and this will help you in solving the problems as well as understanding the concept of force vibrations. So thank you very much.